Hi, everyone. Welcome to ACF National President's Town Hall. I'm JJ Vitale, ACF's new Director of Communications. We appreciate you all being here with us and tuning in as ACF National President Rainey Marquis, CEC, CCE, CCA, AAC will be taking the time to answer your questions. If you have any additional questions, please put them in the Q&A. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce President Rainey Marquis. Chef Marquis graduated from the Culinary Institute of America in 1992. He joined the Army in 1993, and as of January 2014, is a retired combat disabled veteran of 21 years. Throughout his military career, he was a team member and the team captain of the United States Army Culinary Arts Team and attended the Culinary Olympics in Germany for 2000 and 2004. He also competed in the Culinary World Cups in 2002 and 2006. In 2004, the team brought home 17 golds and 16 silver medals. Besides serving as the ACF National President, Chef Marquis is a corporate chef for Land O'Lakes. And with that, I will pass the floor over to Chef Marquis for an opening statement before we dive into today's questions.
Good evening. Thank you, JJ, for that warm welcome. Good evening, members. Welcome to the town hall. This is the fourth town hall of the year. I just wanted to make sure we got this in before the end of the year, but also we have a lot of important information that we're going to share with you tonight. So please, we'll have the recording for this up on the website tomorrow. So in case you want to watch it again, or if you want to share it with some of your fellow members, that would be great. The very first thing on the agenda tonight is conference registration. Conference registration is now live, so you can sign up today. You can sign up tonight, you can sign up tomorrow, but it is live. All the new programming and all the new information is up on the website. The second point tonight is the Team USA tryouts. We've had two Team USA tryouts, and they were both very good. One was held at Johnson & Wales, and then one was held in Cincinnati/Kentucky. We have 14 new members on the team. The team has been vetted, and they're going to start training in January. All the information for the team will be up on the website, so you'll be able to follow along and see what they're doing. First point I wanted to talk about, there's been some questions about Chef Randy Torres. He was not fired as the manager. He resigned from his position, and I was a little late finding out because I wasn't copied on the email. But the great thing is I was sitting across from Chris Tanner and Kyle Richardson at the national office when we were there working on the budget. This is truly a sad and missed opportunity. The new culinary leadership is being run by Sergeant Major retired David Turcott and Alan Neese and Raymond Hoffmeister. They've been selected to lead the team until 2028. The 14 team members, again, will start training next month, and I'm looking forward to seeing the progress. As another note, the youth team will be under the same umbrella as Team USA, and they'll be run and managed by Frank Constantino. The USACAT team will also fall under this umbrella like it used to be in the past and be managed by Chief Coletta Brown. Right now, we're still in the process of getting the information and all of the equipment and all the stuff from the previous team. So we're having some issues with that. There's been some unreturned phone calls and unreturned emails. But the inventories for the equipment are missing. We're looking for budget and financial documents. We're also looking for the sponsor leads and the opportunities. Travel plans weren't passed over. The good news is we as a board are trying to take some action and get some results for this. And the last thing I want to talk about for Team USA, Chef Richardson's on the line. Can you give us a brief synopsis of Culinary Team USA's funds?
Hello, everyone. Yes, I came back from a stay at the office for about 3 days and did a bunch of audits on actually a bunch of our systems from the academy and mostly stuff from the foundation. With a new team coming on, obviously they wanted to know, what they had going in. And there's been a lot of circulating different points. So I did a 4-year audit, year by year of anything came in for the team, any sponsorships, any income, opposed to anything that we've paid out over the years for the team. And I know it's a surprising thing. It's obviously with our software at the office, which is what we're doing a revamp on right now. It was always hard to get figures for the team straight, but I got them straight now. And obviously the team was over budget. Actually, every year we kind of spent more than they actually brought in with sponsorships. And so the foundation more or less has been funding part of that through the team. And it's a part of the foundation. So that's the way it goes. But over the 4 year of this last team, they probably have a deficit of it's about $224,918. And that is a conglomeration of all the years up until March of this year, because after March, we start to calculate for the new team. So going forward, we have started a completely brand new system that we are doing. And I've worked with Chef Turcotte already, been with him for a week earlier, and now we talk on the phone weekly about the new way we're doing the budget, new way we're going to do. We have a separate bank account just for the team. And so when any funds come in or any bills come in for the team, they will be dedicated straight to this separate account. Easy to track, easy to see monies in and out. Anything earmarked from sponsorships that come through our MCI immediately go through our Great Plains program. We pull them and they automatically get deposited into this separate bank account. This gives Chef Turcotte and his team a daily look, if they want to, of where they're at and where their money is and where they need to be. And also gives us as ACF a chance to make sure that we understand what it is. And we just had a foundation meeting, and on the foundation board, we also approved the funding of so much money per year that we put into the account for the team, because it is a team that is under the foundation, and it is an ACF team. So rather than which we've already been doing year by year, we've been funding them money. It's just now it's going to be above board where you can see it. I spent the last 2 days when I was in Germany going through the receipts and everything. And I could tell you that this will be a much better system. That was completely confusing last minute, having to have me bring 40,000 euros over. I mean, everything was the last minute. It was completely unorganized, and I don't want to go through that again. And we are still searching for some of the stuff, but we closed that team out. We have what it is, but I can tell you going forward, we have a great system. It is going to be amazing, and I'm very, very confident. And I know already that the new team is excited about it. The new coaches are excited, and they want to get out there and get more. And we've already got some really great leads for sponsorship, so I feel good about the team going forward. And that's all I got for you, Chef.
Thank you very much, Kyle. I appreciate you. Have a great evening. Up next is the 2025 ACF Trend Report. It'll be launching in January of 2025, so stay tuned for industry insights. We just recently got a new Director of Membership Strategy. We're welcoming Rich Romano to the ACF home office. New member levels are being implemented in 2025. Bylaws update. Chef Mark Wright has just left the ACF national office last week, and he is working on the process of updating the bylaws with his bylaws committee. The executive board and office, the board of directors is hosting an in-person meeting in January. We've done all the other board meetings by Zoom every month, and that was to save money. So in January, we're going to be at the office. We're going to do a team building and strategic vision workshop. We're going to have action plans set with objectives to grow the ACF. And lastly, the Board of Governors meeting from last month is back up on the website. It was up and it was down, but it's back up. So the Board of Governors recording is back up on the website. Our continuing education initiatives, we're adding new certificates and learning opportunities to the online learning center. Next year, we're going to be focused on AI and culinary, cannabis education, sustainability, food science, and other in-depth learning topics. Competitions. Though deadline for that is December 31st. We have 2 weeks left. The awards, and we have a lot of people who are definitely earned a reward through the ACF. Nominations for those awards is extended until January 31st. So you have about 6 weeks left for that. So let's get those packets in. ACF Culinary Consulting Cooperative led by Dan Folsey. There's more information to be soon up on the ACF Chef's Table Forum. We haven't been using the ACF Chef's Table to its maximum capacity. So we're going to do that in the new year. And that way that you'll be able to find other information and find great details on events, classes, everything is going to be on there. The ACF Chef's Table is getting a relaunch. We're relaunching it with webinars. We're doing updates on the ACF Chef's Table Forum. And in June, hopefully before June, ACF Table Podcast. And that's going to be an initiative that Chris Tanner, our executive director, is going to be doing. A few more announcements. The Global Chefs Challenge semifinals is being hosted in Las Vegas on July 28th. Since we're hosting the competition, we're allowed to have 2 competitors in each category. There are 4 categories: the senior chef, the junior chef, the pastry chef, and the vegan chef. The way that this was initially set up, the winners from the Chef of the Year from the previous year and the other respective categories would get the opportunity to continue their drive and their excellence in the World Chefs Challenge. Most recently, in the past few years, it has come off the tracks. So we're putting it back on the tracks. The individuals who won Chef of the Year, Pastry Chef of the Year, Student Chef of the Year have already been notified and have already accepted that they will represent us in the competition in Las Vegas. With that being said, we have an opening opportunity for 1 vegan chef, 1 senior chef, 1 pastry chef. If you're interested in competing in Las Vegas in the World Chefs Qualifier with a chance to represent the ACF in Wales in 2026, please reach out to me directly. Another great event we're hosting is the Freedom Chef Challenge. It'll be directly after the Global Chef Challenge on the 28th. And this competition originally was headed up by Chef Michael T. May he rest in peace, and David Prowse. The competition was held 3 consecutive regional conferences or national conferences, 2008, 2010, and 2012. Basically, this competition is all the branches of services will have a 2-man team, and those 2-man teams will be competing in our kitchens, and wait till you see our kitchens. The kitchens look good last year. They're going to look a lot better this year, but those chefs will be competing, and whatever branch of service 2-man team or 2-person team wins will be crowned the Freedom Chef Challenge champion. Another great opportunity that we're taking advantage of in February, we have 4 ACF members going to a school in Switzerland for membership, certification, and accreditation. So that's going to be a great revenue stream for the American Culinary Federation. Speaking of accreditation, we're changing the way that we do site visits, and we're no longer going to pay stipends for the ACF chefs who do site visits. We will reimburse expenses with receipts according to our travel policy and procedures, like we do for everybody else who travels for the ACF. This will make a more uniform and transparent process. JJ, back to you.
Thank you, Chef. All right, we will now be beginning our Q&A. As a reminder, Chef Marquis will be answering as many questions as possible during the time allotted. We're going to begin with the questions that were submitted ahead of time and then take any additional questions as time permits. Again, please use the Q&A function, not the chat, and we will get started. So to kick things off, first, I want to apologize if I mispronounce anyone's name. I'm sorry. And here we go.
Aaron H. Long.
Here we go. First question is from Perrin H. Long. Has the ACF ever considered reimbursing members for mileage or a set stipend to cover mileage who are evaluators for ACF practical exams?
Great question, Chef. Practical exams are organized and hosted by local ACF chapters. Expenses such as mileage reimbursement are usually handled at the local level. Members with specific concerns should address the chapters that are hosting. I will tell you, for example, that in Orlando and Tampa and Sarasota, they give gifts or they give bottles of wine or they give gas cards to help offset those costs. we have a lot of chapters in Florida, so we're fortunate. But if you're in a state that doesn't have a lot of chapters, it could be very expensive to drive there. But you can also always ask the local chapter. The local chapter should be able to reimburse your expenses. Thank you.
The next question is from Chef Tinrecker. Can you provide an update on the status of the CMC exam? The manual has been removed from the website for a while. There seems to be some assessments being performed, but there is not any public information on what the exam will be or potential upcoming dates.
Thank you, Chef, for the question. AMCO, the American Master Chef Order, is currently retooling the CMC exam. A beta test is planned with a current master chef and possibly with a certified master pastry chef in early 2025. I was with Chef Kevin Walker at the Chef Metz dinner at the Greenbrier, and he told me as soon as it's completed, they will share it with the ACF so we can get it posted. But also the updates, the benefits of the updates should benefit the people also going to be taking. They're going to use certified master chefs to take the exam again, instead of just taking a individual and doing a beta test that way. But I do spy, and I believe it's being shortened by the number of days because of the assessment program that you talked about. Thank you.
This question is from Chef Derek
Ivanic.
Can the ACF national leadership be transparent surrounding the removal of certification chair Fernando Mojica? The candidate was confirmed by the Board of Governors, and we should be informed as to why they were removed. Per the Board of Directors meetings minutes on August 28th, there were initiative requirements and goals that were not met. The details surrounding his release are quite vague. What were those goals? What metric were used to determine the success or failure of those goals? And when were these communicated to the past chair in writing? Also, what are the goals given to the current chair?
Oh, very long question. Thank you, Chef. First of all, it's hard to be a volunteer for the ACF, especially be in charge of a committee or a very extensive position. The ACF National Board was the body that made him the chair, and the ACF National Board of Directors has the authority to remove a committee member if they're found not to be fulfilling their leadership duties or have otherwise compromised their responsibilities. Removal is determined through a simple majority vote by the ACF Board of Directors in accordance with the ACF policies and procedures. It is a board vote, and please remember that I do not have a vote unless there's a tie. In this case, the removal of Fernando Mojica as a certification was based on unmet initiative requirements and goals outlined in his tenure. This is a revenue-producing aspect of the ACF, and I told you all that I was going to run this like a business, and that's exactly what we're doing. Leadership goals and expectations are provided to all certification chairs upon appointment. The commission is already moving forward with Chef Brum at the helm, and then he will be succeeded by Chef Connor. So our future in the certification department looks bright. I also just want to make a side note, since this has not been brought up, but the individual made himself a trainer, and he put his name on the ACF website without taking the proper classes and trainings. And then he scheduled himself as a trainer to go out and teach classes. And for me, that's stolen valor, and that's unacceptable. Thank you.
Okay, I have another question from Chef Ivancic, and there's also kind of a follow-up question as well. So, in the latest internal audit, is it true the timeline was original 3 days and was trimmed down to 6 hours? If so, does the chair and the board feel that a complete and thorough review was completed within the 6-hour time frame? As a kind of follow-up, there was a letter circulated recently regarding concerns surrounded the internal audit, how it was conducted, and the veracity of it. What is your response to the criticism and questions contained in that letter? Chef Markey?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Chef. The in-person internal audit meeting this year was shortened. Questions were never sent in advance like they were supposed to. We've been doing, like I said, we've been doing all of our board of directors calls, and we just did a board of governors call by Zoom. So we expected questions to be asked in advance. Despite the reduced time frame, the team was provided full access to the ACF National Office team and the executive board for questions and clarifications. All questions asked during the process were addressed as outlined in the official response letter submitted by the chairperson of the Internal Audit Committee, Michael Thrash. The executive director and board of directors will revisit the audit process in the new year to ensure best practices are aligned and needs with the needs of the nonprofit trade association. We are checking to make sure that we as a nonprofit are meeting all the criteria. And as far as we know right now, we have. While the audit process may have been longer in various years, advancements in technology and communication tools enable more efficient sharing of information today. The ACF will still evaluate and improve its process moving forward. Additionally, the emails that were going around before the Board of Governors meeting last month, an internal audit member, Brian Hardy, was removed from his committee for breaking the confidentiality agreement in the Colonians Code. There was 3 levels of chain of command that were broken from the email that was sent out to the central region, and then it was shared to the judges and other members of the ACF by Kevin Storm. This also is being looked at as a board action. Thank you.
Okay, the next question is from Chef Don Zajac, and fantastically timely. As candidates engage in discussions or debates during the ACF election season, the Culinarians Code offers a valuable guide to maintaining professionalism, respect, and camaraderie. What are your tips for incorporating the spirit of the code into a campaign for candidates?
Thank you, Chef, for the question. Candidates should uphold professionalism and respect in all campaign activities. Maintain camaraderie by fostering positive, solution-focused discussions. Let me say this one more time. Maintain camaraderie by fostering positive, solution-focused discussions. I have never understood why someone who is part of a nonprofit would have intent to slander or to bring down or to bring negativity to the organization. Doesn't make any sense. This is a nonprofit. We should be doing everything we can to make it great. Use of personal experience that reflect the values of Culinarians Code to connect with members. Social media is the way that you connect with people. You encourage constructive dialogue and avoid negativity or diverse rhetoric. Thank you, Chef.
All right. And this is a real easy one from Chef Michael Thrash. When will the 2025 National Convention registration be available online?
Let me go back to the first line. The National Convention is up and live and running.
Piece of
JJ, can you
cake.
see if he registered yet?
I'll run that report as soon as we get off. Okay, the next question is from
Brittany, can you post the registration in the
think
chat
she did.
box, please? Awesome.
All right. The next question is from Chef Ashley Jantz. Will there be pastry-related seminars at the 2025 ACF National Convention?
Thank you, Chef. Great question. Yes, the formerly new Baking and Pastry Task Force is working on speakers and sessions for the National Convention and other baking and pastry events such as IBE and Chicago Pastry Forum. This question is one that's near and dear to my heart because we stood up this pastry task force not even 3 months ago, along with the Asian task force, along with the senior living task force. These are all task force that I felt that ACF was desperately needing. Matter of fact, I have an ACF task force meeting with the Asian chefs tomorrow. So we're moving all of our task force forward, and we're having everybody have the opportunity to have a seat at the table. And it's going to widen our reach. It's going to widen our span. Thank you.
Absolutely. Following up on that, we have another one. Can you go into more detail regarding the Baking and Pastry Task Force, what their mission is, and how they will accomplish it?
So there's a purpose, a mission, and a goal. The purpose is to provide the American Culinary Federation leadership with guidance and recommendation that pertains to pastry. We believe innovation is a key component. I know that we never have enough pastry chefs, and we also sometimes have a hard time finding pastry chefs to compete in the regional conferences. We want to fix that. We want to bring that back. We're passionate about the future, and we take pride in the relationships we have, looking forward to growing ACF support within baking and pastry. No good meal goes without a good dessert. So it's a very important piece to our puzzle that we are fixing. The mission of the task force exhibits to bring baking and pastry throughout leadership while promoting the art and skill of our craft to the forefront of our industry through promotion of pastry chefs, bakers, and other professionals in our field. Our goals are to provide and support for bakery and pastry professionals through our work supporting the ACF. We will achieve this by recommending content, speakers, demonstration, ACF leadership, and leveraging our personal and professional networks to help achieve our goal. I would say this, Ashley Jantz, if you are a pastry chef and you are interested in the World Chefs qualifier, please email me. Thank you very much.
All right. Let's see. I have a question that has been put in here
Okay.
as I do not see a name. Oh, it's from Lee Moultrie. From, let's see, he's in Carolina. As a health educator, what would be the process to bring more proactive health initiatives for men and women of the ACF to enhance our lives a little longer and healthier, and possibly prevent many premature deaths?
Great question, Chef. Thank you for that. We've actually already started, even in last year in Las Vegas. We had classes and seminars, and we're going to focus on having webinars and having more information that's on share on our chef's table to keep our ACF healthy and living longer. I truly believe that it's a lack of education, and if I think part of our senior living chefs, a lot of their input is going to take place in this year's convention. So hopefully we can start spreading the news and getting people educated on a healthier way of life. And I know being on our feet for 12, 14 hours a day, 6 days a week is not healthy, but we all signed up to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, no further questions have been submitted. So let's give it 1 second. All right. Well, what
Good.
I'm going to do,
Very easy.
very easy. I want to
So,
thank do you have?
yeah, I would just like to say a little bit to everybody here on the call. Thanks for those that joined in. Thanks for what you're doing for the ACF. It's been a hard year and a half, but we're doing great things. I appreciate everybody's support and commitment. And it's holiday season, so everybody have a happy holiday, have a happy new year. And I will tell you that I can promise you the ACF will be doing a lot better in 2025. Thank you very much.
All right. And with that, I also want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to Chef Kyle Richardson. I want to say thank you to Chef Marquis for taking the time to answer questions from our membership. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in today. And a special thank you to everyone who took the time to submit questions. We hope that you will join us for our first webinar of the new year on January 15th, as we host an introduction to the 2025 Trend Report. We really enjoyed working with the Trend Report this last year, and we look forward to continuing it in 2025. We have some really exciting new trends that you'll see in webinars, podcasts, and our NCR. To learn more about our upcoming webinars, visit acfchefs.org and click on the Events tab. I will say I appreciate everyone that uses the Chef's Table Forum. I'm the one that sends you those little emails, so you do get nudges from me to post on there, to engage in that discussion, and it's a really great way for you to do chef-to-chef communication. So please continue to engage it. The more we use it, the better it works for all of us, for the entire community. That is a members resource. So on behalf of the ACF National Office, thank you again to Chef Marquis, and thank you for joining us today, and have a really wonderful holiday season.
And be safe.
Be safe.
Thank you.
Thank you all.